to the CoStar News Hotels podcast. I'm news editor Sean McCracken here with PM Hotel Group's Erica Lipscomb. I have to be careful not to get that wrong. You are
That's
now
great, yes.
Executive Vice President of Commercial Strategy for PM.
Correct. 3 weeks in.
3 weeks. That's new.
That is very new.
So I guess I'll start asking about that. How's the transition to PM gone for you personally?
Oh, amazingly well. The team has been so welcoming. It's the right fit at the right time. I was really drawn to PM because of Joseph Wojnarowski, the president's vision. His vision and really more of the cultural foundation. They're very strong in respect. Their values also incorporate entrepreneurial spirit. Just a team effort on all the things they do. And I will tell you from day one, it was definitely very welcoming, very embracing, and all the way through. So things that I was looking for.
I can say personally, I've not met anyone from PM that I didn't immediately like, so it does seem like a very good group.
Do you know, I hear that over and over again, especially as we're here with my, best of my friends of 800 plus. Everyone says the same thing about PM, and definitely about Joseph and his leadership. And I would also add to that, not just the culture, but what I was looking for from a vision, what Joseph's vision, when we sat and we had many talks over months, and really just talked about what he was looking for, that evolution, really aligned what I was looking for as my next step in career.
Absolutely. So, with your newness at PM in mind, this might be an unfair question, but just broadly, how are you seeing the summer coming together? Have you had enough time to kind of dive into the data?
I'm a revenue girl at heart, so yes. I've had, had enough time to dive into it. And it was coming right off of the FIFA, right? Net impact, and we're in 25 states. So being able to understand what was that impact on an organization as a support center. We're working on getting our teams ready for the budget, so I really had to understand what the summer looked like. And Sean, this is not new to you and everybody else who's been in and out of data. It's mixed. Now, the beautiful piece of PM is we have a very diversified portfolio.
Absolutely,
So again, it's the 25 states, including Hawaii. We have a perfect blend of core hotels, our branded portfolio, independent lifestyle, and we're just tapping into outdoor. So it really has been a perfect blend, and what's been exciting and interesting, exciting and interesting is to see that mixed demand. Right, so to being able to tap into where groups are traveling, where are still seeing that business travelers still traveling, outside of the impact of FIFA. So you can strip some of those away and you can still see those markets that had that demand that spilled over because those that travelers weren't going to FIFA, right?
So with the idea that
exciting.
The segment geographic diversity you guys have, where are the hot spots right now? What are you most excited about?
What we're most excited, maybe not just necessarily the destination. I think everybody knows Nashville, so that was truly excitement that that's already in our pocket and done. Understanding that Nashville has always maintained and still has been diversified in not only the leisure segment, but the core business travel and group. And so the 12 hotels from Pinnacle that we were able to bring on board. So still excited about what that's going to do for the portfolio.
Any concerns about the supply side in Nashville? I mean, obviously there's been some talk about whether it's overbuilt a little bit at this point.
But we've been saying that for 6 years now.
Absolutely,
So it's one of those things, we can keep saying it, but Nashville still does very well. It hasn't really been impacted, and the good news is we got to remember that group travel is still on the comeback. Conventions are still continuing to grow. We've sold out HDC. How many years in a row now?
Oh yeah, and this is the biggest ever. We had 850 this year.
And we said last year was the biggest year ever. And so that type of growth hasn't slowed down. It will continue. So not scared about Nashville at all. If you'd asked me 4 years ago, I was very worried about it. Today, it's normalized. But where we are really excited for hot spots, we've done very well. We were worried about entering Hawaii. We just opened up a Hyatt place in Hawaii. We were very worried about what we would see. And we just saw that hotel just take off like it didn't even need a ramp. So that's been exciting. We have other projects in the pipeline for Hawaii. And then the outdoor space. So you do know we have the Reset. So it's the first brand that entered Marriott's outdoor collection, and just right outside of Joshua Tree. So very excited about this experiential travel and that outdoor space and what that is to come. So we have a lot of projects that we're really entertaining in outdoor space.
Just to drill in on Hawaii a little bit, obviously I do a monthly podcast with the STR head in Singapore, and so I talk a lot about, data performance in Asia Pacific. It seems like the recurring theme is obviously Japan is doing great in Japan, but the depressed yen keeps a lot of those Japanese travelers out of Hawaii. I know that's been a problem for years. You feel like the overall picture is enough to overcome that going forward?
So that has been the biggest concern is international travel. And really what we were concerned about is not having that piece. But again, being able to tap into true business travel has been our success. And so we're just in a great location for it. So it's all about the right location. So if you're in the right location, there's still demand for business travel that's not necessarily all international.
I mean, and the part of it has to be like eventually you assume it comes back, right? Like, and then that would just elevate performance to a whole other level.
And you're starting to see things on a comeback, right? I think that bifurcation of information is very real. It's not, we used to be able to say international is down. And we knew that international was down for everyone. But to say that today, it doesn't necessarily mean all of the U.S.
It's much more
specialized. And even when you take a look
yeah.
at a city, it's not the entire city. It's much more time, and that's why we have so much data now about submarkets. So it's about submarkets and segmentation. You have to be very intentional, and it has to be very intentional by property. I don't. There's not one shoe fits all for our 80 plus hotels.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously, you mentioned getting into the early days of budget season.
Yes.
I'm sure you're very happy and excited to be doing just that. But with that in mind, I mean, what are your current expectations for the full year? What are you thinking about next year? Although, obviously an unfair question to ask, but as I mentioned to some other people, your owners are going to be asking you that question, whether it's fair or not.
And that's why we're here, right? I mentioned to Amanda the other night, I said, you're the kickoff for budget season. And so we've been feeding our teams information while we're here because we know our owners, asset managers are here.
That's kind of unfair to put on Amanda.
I know.
It kind of makes her the Grim Reaper for revenue managers.
I did tell her, but she obviously delivered much better news than last year.
Yes, for sure.
So I think she's getting all the love this year. Seriously, really the good news is that this was a better year than we were forecasting to be a better year, that we budgeted to be a better year. The first half of the year was stronger than we all expected. Then you add FIFA, whether that was good or bad for different markets. I think there was probably more, we were probably a little bit more hopeful than the reality. And I think if we look at numbers, what we expected last year before we probably sat at a budget table, we probably had that reality there. But we were all hoping that we were going to have a much better experience than we did. What we're seeing on the back half of the year, and many of our colleagues have been talking about this short-term pickup demand. We probably were a little bit scared about Q4. And then all of a sudden, group pace was up, business travel was up, and everything just turned around.
That seems to be a recurring theme during the recent REIT earnings calls, is that business travel seems to be coming alive a little bit. So that you're seeing the same thing?
We're definitely seeing it come alive. I can't wait to hear. I mean, we have HDC and we also have GBTA this week. So I can't wait to hear all of the sound bites from GBTA. But yes, we're seeing it, but it is in a shorter booking window. But we're optimistic that it's going to continue. There's no reason that it won't continue. Now, again, we would all love the numbers to be higher than the 2.2% that we're expecting for 2027. But that's still positive news. When you strip out FIFA, overall, we're going to really see some positive growth next year. But again, I think we have to be very intentional. And when we start working with our properties next week on feeding them the data that we receive from here, it will be about looking at each individual property, looking at each individual submarket, and then overall U.S. demand. Are we tapping into the right segmentation over the right dates to make sure we're layering it in as much as we can further in advance, but not being worried
Yeah.
I hate to say, FIFA's the right example, right? We all thought there was going to be this huge booking window,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So
it
not
did not
being
change
too
guest behavior. in the
did
way
not
of-
change, and we don't want people to be too concerned too far out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's hard to tell. That's hard for people to kind of be able to deal with. That it will come, but I think we've all learned enough this year.
Yeah.
It will come.
So what's keeping you up at night now? I mean, there's plenty of reason for optimism at the moment, but what kind of worries you as a commercial strategy leader?
As a commercial strategy leader, the biggest concerns and things that would keep me up at night really are is that we've now moved out of the conceptual conversations of AI
Yeah.
into the application.
Yeah.
And in that, we have all the data that we want. When we were doing this probably 20, 30 years ago, we were taking our time and combing through reports. Data and information it's so much more about our fingertips, but it's also moving so fast that it's changed the customer's behavior. And so what my biggest concerns when commercial strategy comes into play is how do we make sure that we're staying relevant to our customers along every touch point of the customer journey.
And that's harder to do now.
Understanding that's going to continue to change. Distribution models are constantly changing. And so we're putting a lot of pressure on our marketing teams to make sure they're staying in front of that ever-changing and that evolution of the customer journey.
Definitely a difficult time to be in the marketing field, for sure.
Yes.
I'm curious, though, to end it on a slightly different note. You mentioned we're getting into budget season. This means a lot of conversations with owners.
Yes.
What do you kind of wish owners understood a little bit better about what you do, about commercial strategy, about the data behind it? I mean, what do you think they had a little more insight on?
I think customers now get it. We've been talking about, you've said in a lot of sessions that I've been in, advisory board meetings, saying, what is commercial strategy?
Yeah.
We've evolved, and everybody understands that we're no longer siloed.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is to remember that it's more of a mindset.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing, is that people are looking for these tangible things, that these switches that you click, these buttons that you touch on. It's not that. It's more about a mindset change. And we really are now saying what commercial really has to play, the role it has to play in, is understanding that our customers don't care about revenue, sales, marketing, distribution, operations. They care about their experience.
Yeah.
And
They care about how much they're paying and what they're getting for it.
and what they're getting for. And so we have to have that mindset.
Yeah.
And so when we're coming together to take a look at opportunities, and then how do we deliver the right solutions to a customer along their journey.
Well, thank you so much. I think this has been a great conversation.
Always a great conversation with you, John.
I'm Terence Baker, News Editor, Europe, Middle East and Africa, and I'm the host of The Upgrade, a CoStar News Hotels podcast for the EMEA region. In it, I discuss with special guests the pressures, challenges, joys and exhilaration that comes with managing, owning and developing hotels in our glorious multifaceted industry. Discovering the EMEA region from the scenic northern shores of Norway to the heights of Table Mountain in South Africa, and most likely some chat about birdwatching, distance running and the English Premiership. Join us wherever you find your podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify and on other platforms.
This episode was recorded on August 7th, 2026 at the Hotel Data Conference in Nashville and edited by me, Sean McCracken. Visit costar.com/hotelnews for more coverage and find all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen.